Picture this bustling marketplace, folks. It's alive with vibrant stalls, blaring traditional tunes, and lively Romani families gathering for a wedding bash. At the heart of this jubilant scene, you'll find young Romani women, decked out in their finest attire, eagerly hoping to catch the eye of their future husbands. Welcome to the Roma bridal market, where tradition takes center stage in all its glory. Among the tapestry of global cultures, the Roma or Romani people stand out with their captivating history and cultural sway that knows no bounds. With roots tracing back to northern India, this community has spread across continents, enriching nations like England, Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey with their distinctive heritage. It's estimated that around 10 million Roma folks call this planet home today, keeping alive a rich and diverse legacy. The Romani, with their colorful traditions, catchy tunes, and a peculiar nomadic way of life, carry a rich cultural identity. But hey, it's worth mentioning that the term gypsy might raise some eyebrows among this community, as it comes with a history of negative connotations. These folks stand out for their unique cultural aspects like fortune-telling skills and a deep appreciation for music, dance, and handicrafts. However, despite their valuable cultural legacy, the Roma face significant challenges related to marginalization and prejudice in many countries. They often form communities on the fringes of mainstream society, leading to their social exclusion. Take Bulgaria, for example, where many Roma live in segregated neighborhoods, marked by poor infrastructure and limited access to essential services. This geographical and social separation often sparks tensions with the local population, fueled by the perception that Roma avoid chipping in for basic services like water and electricity. The Roma areas in Bulgaria are characterized by neglect, with deteriorating streets, rundown housing, and abandoned green spaces, reflecting a lack of investment and government attention. When you take a peek into the everyday items in Romani households, it's crystal clear they're up against some hefty challenges. The way their living conditions are described paints a picture of rustic simplicity, falling a notch below the average rural standard. In these villages, raising animals like pigs is common, and instead of towering apartment blocks, you'll find single-story homes steeped in decades of history, dating back 30 to 40 years. Given these circumstances, Romani communities in Bulgaria keep up a rather peculiar annual tradition. So unique is this practice that for these vulnerable communities, it's a glimmer of hope, a ray of light they believe can flip their realities upside down. This becomes even more significant considering Bulgaria's high unemployment rate and the fact that the majority of the population enjoys a middle-class standard of living. In contrast, Roma face much harsher conditions, making this tradition not just a celebration, but a symbolic act of resistance and hope in the face of adversity. In Romani communities in Bulgaria, age-old traditions are kept alive like a cornerstone for preserving their identity and, in a way, their survival. One of these traditions, a cultural inheritance from Anatolia, involves the performance of wedding ceremonies where the groom financially compensates the bride's family, a practice dating back to ancient times when dowry was common. Despite the shift in perception in many parts of the world, where dowry has fallen out of favor and direct money exchange in weddings is rarely seen, among Bulgarian Roma, this tradition persists. Moreover, the situation has evolved into a more commercial and troubling dynamic in Bulgaria. There are reports of Romani families halting the formal education of their daughters soon after the early years, pushing them into early marriages, and in some cases, negotiating them in public bride markets. Such practices occur without facing significant legal constraints from the Bulgarian government, despite being openly conducted at specific times of the year. In these events, families from different regions of the country participate with the aim of selling their daughters in exchange for money to men who are often complete strangers, perpetuating a cycle that challenges human rights and gender equality. For some, this practice might seem like a relic from distant and archaic times. However, for the Kicha clan in Bulgaria, this tradition is a vital component of their cultural heritage. Families of this ethnic group start preparing for this event well in advance, investing in fancy clothing and footwear so that their daughters stand out. The culmination of the preparations comes with the presentation of the young women at the market, where they must not only showcase their carefully chosen attire, but also, and perhaps most crucially, find a suitable partner for marriage. Interestingly, the negotiated price varies depending on mutual interest. If the girl is attracted to the suitor, the price can be adjusted. Contrary to the perception of arranged marriages under coercion, young Romani women participate in these markets with a glimpse of joy and evident satisfaction. This reaction might be explained by their social marginalization, which leads them to fear perpetual singledom, seeing these events as a chance to build their own future. Additionally, the value attributed to each young woman in the market is influenced by factors like age and physical attractiveness, reflecting the norms and expectations that permeate this unique tradition. Similarly, it's the father who sets the selling price for his daughters, guided by his own expectations and desires, like when youth is a valued factor, making an 18-year-old girl's value surpass that of a 25-year-old. When financially advantageous proposals come through, families celebrate with immense pride, a sentiment widely shared on every possible occasion. Far from feeling awkward about these monetary transactions, Roma in Bulgaria see them as a source of joy. In this setting, wedding markets are hotspots for intense bargaining, for families seeking to arrange a good marriage for their daughters. However, even with the father possibly persuading the daughter to accept a marriage, the final decision can be vetoed by both the mother and the daughter herself if the groom isn't to their liking. The dowry amount involved in these negotiations varies significantly, ranging from 20,000 to 50,000 Bulgarian levs, with a figure at the higher end of this range representing a real fortune for a Romani family in Bulgaria. Considering Bulgaria is one of the countries with the lowest income rates in Europe, the importance of such a substantial amount in levs is even more pronounced, highlighting the economic weight these transactions bear for these communities. The importance of money is a fundamental aspect of life for Bulgarians, including Roma folks. Many of them head to places like Edirne in search of products at more favorable prices. To put it in perspective, 50,000 Bulgarian levs amount to over $27,000, a considerable sum in Bulgaria, and seen as adequate for putting together a dowry. Moreover, quirks like the lower frequency of blue eyes among Bulgarians, compared to other regions of Europe, can significantly raise the value of certain negotiations. While the practice of arranging marriages through payment might be frowned upon by some, perhaps even more surprising is the fact that arranged marriages unite people who were previously strangers to each other. In this context, Romani families in Bulgaria tend to limit their daughters' social interactions, arguing that flirting and romantic involvements could threaten family harmony and expose the community to risks like gossip between clans, highlighting a complex web of values and expectations that influence these traditions. Due to gossip, many Romani girls don't go beyond elementary school. Interestingly, marriages among young Roma, regardless of gender, happen early, around 13 or 14 years old, at events like bridal markets. This practice of early marriage significantly limits these young folks' participation in the broader social sphere. It's worth noting that these markets hold immense cultural value, but aren't a uniform practice among all Roma in Bulgaria or globally. The groups that keep the tradition of bridal markets alive are known as Kicha Roma. Observing these events reveals an effort from both sides, grooms and brides, to present themselves as prosperously as possible, shown for example by the display of classic cars like Mercedes by the grooms. Additionally, the markets are stages for various regional dances, creating a conducive environment for socializing. Even Roma who have no immediate plans for marriage can be found at these markets, drawn by the festive atmosphere and the chance to find a partner. Such events take place in cities like Stairs and Gure, important urban centers in Bulgaria with a dense Romani population, playing a crucial role in maintaining Romani culture in urban settings. It's worth noting that in marriages within these communities, physical appearance and displays of prosperity are essential criteria in choosing partners. Although this approach may seem strictly advantageous for both sides, the festivities following the agreement at the bridal market are a vivid reflection of Romani happiness and traditions, marked by dances and music. Despite facing occasional prejudices, this community strives to keep its traditions and culture alive. In certain international contexts, they may face lack of acceptance, but they are recognized for their appreciation of life, pursuit of joy, and efforts to preserve their ancestral customs. This phenomenon adds to the allure of the bridal markets in Stare Segur, drawing visitors from across Europe, boosting the local economy, and highlighting the uniqueness of this Romani cultural practice in Bulgaria. For many members of these communities, the bridal market is more than just a tradition. It's a celebration marking the transition to adulthood, eagerly awaited with great anticipation. This rite of passage symbolizes a pivotal moment, entering maturity with the responsibilities and social roles that come with it. Many young women see the bridal market as a way to uphold family prestige and engage in a cherished cultural heritage. However, an alternative view is gaining ground among the young of the Kalaisi community, who see this tradition as outdated. For them, the bridal market represents a relic of bygone times, out of step with current principles of women's rights and independence. These young women aspire to the freedom to choose their partners and long for marriages based on love, as opposed to arrangements based on economic or social benefits. This disagreement reflects a moment of tension within the community, torn between maintaining its traditions and adopting more progressive values. There are reports of young women who, in resistance to this practice, have chosen to break away from their families or even run away to avoid it. These actions, challenging entrenched customs, spark significant debates in the community about the continuity and evolution of this cultural tradition. Adverse economic factors like resource scarcity, unemployment, and lack of growth opportunities might have been catalysts for the Roma seeking better living conditions in new horizons. This quest for promising territories is characteristic of many nomadic peoples, including the Roma, who were driven by the possibility of finding new areas to settle and thrive. Additionally, the Roma have a rich linguistic heritage with Romani, a language that diversifies regionally, attesting to the deep connection of this people with their Indian origins. Narratives, legends, and mythologies passed down through generations are crucial for preserving and celebrating their culture, adding immeasurable value to their collective identity. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. If you enjoyed the content and want to keep exploring fascinating topics with us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, your opinion matters a lot to us. Leave your comment below, share your ideas, or suggest topics you'd like to see here. We really appreciate you watching and your participation. Until next time.